Today, an interview in action from the ViVE event down here in Miami. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16-hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels dedicated to keeping health IT staff current and engaged. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: Gordian Dynamics, Quill Health, Tausight, Nuance, Canon Medical, and Current Health. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. And now, on to our interview. We're here from ViVE 2022. Is it 2022? It doesn't feel like 2022. We're here with Chad Brisendine, the CIO for St. Luke's University Health Network. Chad, welcome back to the show.
Good to see you, Bill.
Has it been a while? It's been a while since you've been on the show.
I don't know, maybe a year, I don't know.
It's not like we haven't seen you.
I see you all the time.
Yeah, we've seen each other. And my father just got out of your hospital. I always appreciate the work that you guys are doing. And he's telling me that the great work that's going on at the Anderson campus. You guys keep expanding that thing. It's really kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful integrated delivery campus there with both inpatient and outpatient. It's got a organic farm. There's only a few of them like that produces all the vegetables and everything that we eat throughout the facilities that we have. And then additionally, it's got a walking path. It's very holistic in its thought process, and it's just a beautiful campus on a farm.
Is there anything we do now in a new build? I'm going to talk to you about the cloud because I have to.
Yeah.
But is there anything we do in a new building now, like that has changed in the last 5 years that you're like, hey, we rethought how we do these buildings and these rooms?
I'm having some meetings about this tomorrow, but I would say the main thing has been integrating the virtual inside the hospital to create that, remote consult experience, that telesitter experience. So just having the virtual and the physical come together is really what we've been very, very focused on in our new hospitals. And as you know, but I'll tell others, and so when I came to St. Luke's 13 years ago, we had 4 hospitals. Now we have 13, and most of those have been brand new built. We only acquired 3 during that period of time. So 6 of them have been small 100-bed hospitals that we built, and so we've had a lot of time to kind of iterate and innovate within those. So it's pretty exciting, and obviously we have all the kiosk and patient workflows and all that kind of stuff nailed down. But
yeah, yours exciting. Is an interesting market because you have population centers, but then you have like these remote population centers, and so you guys really are taking an approach of going into those communities, identifying what needs need to be there. And if you drive through some of these communities, you'll see. I literally saw St. Luke's on 4 corners of it was at least 3 of the corners of the intersection.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that's really interesting. That's an organization that's looking at the demographics, looking at the population, trying to figure out how to serve that community well.
Our CEO has 3 simple strategic points. He's been the CEO for 35 years. I think the longest standing CEO in the country. His perspective is 3 things: high quality, low cost, and ease of access. And his ease of access strategy is obviously digital, but it's got a physical footprint as well. I mean, you want to, for most of your care, you want to go as local and as convenient as possible. You don't have to be drug across. And then when you need specialty care, you can go in where you need to go to. And that's our strategy, is really meet you at where you're closest to home and then bring you in when you need services. And so that strategy's been working for a long time for us.
And you have to support that with a digital strategy. We've talked about this a little bit. I'm going to come to cloud, don't worry, because I know you're preparing for your,
whatever, yeah.
You're giving a talk here on this.
Yeah, sure.
And we just did a webinar with your associate CIOs, fantastic. But your digital strategy, so you have this platform that you're trying to augment access, ease of access. Now back in the day, I worked with you a little bit, and you guys had you took Epic, you broke apart the components, brought it back together, but then you layered a whole bunch of other things around that. Is that still the strategy? You're still layering?
Yeah, we still have, if you look at it, we have a combination of Epics back in. Obviously they provide a lot of functionality within MyChart. We want to leverage those capabilities where we can, and then where we really think it's differentiating or transformational, we'll write our own capability on that. So we've increased or enhanced the scheduling experience, as we know that really needs to be sticky, and some of the workflows around order follow-up with the omni-channel concept where we're doing text messaging, et cetera. So really enhancing those experiences both on mobile and web, on text, and over the phone digitally. So we have a Twilio Dynamics Epic strategy where we've been integrating and developing around all those 3 capabilities since I guess 2017.
Well, and that's the thing I was going to say. I mean, you were one of the first CIOs who was sort of stepping back into hey, we need some development capabilities. Not necessarily in-house all, but you need access to those.
you know my background, but for others, I was in retail as a developer for a while, and I don't think people know that, but I think that experience really told me that, hey, really where the game is at is in the consumer space, and what we can do in technology is deliver a differentiated product to that, and so if we're going to develop somewhere, that's really the edge that we need to be on, and that being said, we need to leverage all the transactional capabilities that our vendors bring us, but also live on the edge and bring great experiences to our patients. And there's just so many more opportunities that we're not even tackling. As everyone knows, there's just so many different journeys and so many different specialties that you can really enhance, and the needs of each one of those are different.
So the cloud, Christine did a great job spelling this out. So really, at this point, there's only a handful of organizations that have moved.
I know of two, I think.
Well, it's Cone Health, you.
Yeah.
There's another one that has done it for DR. There's a couple that have done it for DR.
For DR, but full production, I think it's us and Cone Health.
Right, and on Azure, production, full, and it was, it's really interesting. So you're going to be talking on this. What are you
today.
What are you going to be saying? Do you know what you're going to be saying yet?
Yeah, I have my presentation. I hope I have it down. I mean, what I'm going to tell them is basically,
it's possible.
It's possible. For us and our strategy, I think it's all about where you come from too. So for us, we had 2 different data centers co-load, and it was either forklift our hardware or migrate to the cloud or look at another managed services. And since we do our own managed services, it makes sense from a cost basis standpoint for us to look at the cloud. Now, we didn't have anybody to go against and say, was it cheaper? There was a gut instinct of like, hey, we think it's going to be cheaper, let's go after it, and it has been. We're 25% lower on a run rate perspective. And now it's OpEx versus CapEx, and we did a whole, we use Aptio's product with Azure tagging and everything to look at our cost basis, but we're early on. As you know, we went through a journey January to December of migrating 20 environments over, so we're just live a few months, and we still have a lot of cost optimization opportunities.
It was interesting to hear Christine. I said, what's one thing you would do different? And she goes, I think we'd be more aggressive. We were so, because it hadn't been done by anybody before, we sort of stepped in slowly. Yeah. And she goes, now you get to the other side of it and you look back and you go, that was not as difficult as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. We did it with 7 people. We backfilled a couple of engineers, and they learned how to do it, and we did all of it internally. We helped, the company helped us with the external, with the design and architecture, and then we did it all over a 12-month period. But we probably could have done it in 6 months, but the team, it definitely burnt the team out too, because there's a lot of learning through that. So I think we could have done it faster, but allowing the team to learn, I think, is important as well.
Are you, that's part of a larger cloud strategy?
Correct.
I mean, we've talked about this.
A larger digital platform strategy.
Digital platform strategy,
yeah.
Okay. Well, that takes us in a different direction.
That takes us in a whole different direction, but we're out of time. But I would love to follow up with you about, kind of where I see things going and where we're trying to hit edge use cases and stuff like that.
All right, so people have to tune in. We'll have to do more.
We'll do more.
Thank you, sir.
Great to see you, Bill.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.